Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Thursday, December 22nd, 2022. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. All right, this is it. 2 long weekends for us in a row to wrap up 2022. We're going to be taking tomorrow and Monday off. We'll be back in action on the 27th for a few days before we do it all over again. All right, we do have a little bit of news, so let's get into it, shall we? A quick follow-up to the road rage story from earlier this week where the woman in the Audi pointed a gun at a man and his daughter. Well, the Anne Arundel County Police found her and determined that it was just a misunderstanding and not a crime. They've closed the case. Now that's a mystery for you. Here's something you don't see in Dunkin every day. On Tuesday afternoon at the Dunkin at Arundel Mills, police were called for a customer behaving erratically. Mind you, erratically is the understatement of the year. When they arrived, they found a 19-year-old male screaming, naked, and masturbating. As police tried to arrest him, he spat in an officer's eye. The suspect was taken to the hospital where he broke an IV pole from the bed and tried to break the lock on the door. When police entered the room, the suspect pulled the pole, now in his pants, and advanced on the officers as if it were a sword. The taser ultimately subdued the teen, and he was charged accordingly. Now, this is one of these stories where I am very thankful about our policy of not naming names of suspects, because, boy, this would be a nightmare to try to explain to a future employer. Here in Annapolis, someone stole the beaded staff off of the statue of Harriet Tubman at the Banneker-Douglass Museum. I'm not sure why APD did not report on this, but it was discovered on Saturday. The statue named Araminta with rifle and veve was on loan from the Goya Contemporary Gallery and was installed outside of the museum in September of this year. Now, Chanel Johnson, the executive director, said they are working with police to review video footage, and they are imploring the public to help in the effort to return the staff, also known as the veve, to the museum. This really stinks. I ran into Elvia Thompson, the founder of Annapolis Green, last night at the post office, and we were talking about their big get. They're helping the Military Bowl go green this year, and they're going to be recycling or composting at the tailgate before the game and in all the hospitality suites and hospitality rooms throughout the stadium. The Military Bowl is Wednesday the 28th. The parade kicks off at 10 a.m. at City Dock, and I understand that they'll be emceed by perhaps a familiar voice. The tailgate also starts at 10 a.m. at the stadium, and kickoff is at 2 p.m. The Duke Blue Devils take on the UCF Knights. Tickets and more info at militarybowl.org. Hey, as we mentioned on Monday, Covington-Alsina is looking for some folks to give away some personal financial advice. A financial plan can help everybody, and we're looking for up to 4 people, couples, families to spotlight over the course of a year. We already have a few, but we need some diversity, to be honest with you. Are there any single parents out there? Maybe there's somebody that's approaching retirement age and maybe kind of stressed about how they're going to make it all work. If selected, you're going to receive an initial financial planning consult and an actionable plan, and then up to 12 months of coaching for no cost or obligation. There's a little bit of a catch. We're going to spotlight you and your situation anonymously in a few of the How's It Started, How's It Going articles on eyeonannapolis.net. If you're interested, email me and we can go from there. All right, that's all I've got news-wise. Podcast stuff. Up this weekend on the Local Business Spotlight, we're going to hear from Donna Anderson from the Chesapeake Arts Center. And next week, it is Faye and Teresa from Arundel Federal Savings Bank. All right, and that is a wrap. As always, thank you for being you, and a thank you to our sponsors for the Daily News Brief, Solar Energy Services, Alpha Engineering, and Scout and Molly's. It's Thursday, which really is Friday for us, and the long weekend is here. So now it's time just to say have a great weekend, be nice to others, do something fun, keep shopping local, and a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy Kwanzaa. Other than that, we will see you on Tuesday. So hang tight, because we do have George from DCMDVA Weather with your locally forecast weather, and Trevor is here with your Annapolis Makerspace Maker Minute. All that coming up in just a bit.
Hi, I'm Betsy Abraham. My mom and I own and operate Scout Molly's, this amazing little boutique at the Annapolis Town Center, and we're here to help. Whether you are shopping for the beautiful ladies on your holiday list or for yourself, we have something stunning for every occasion, from casual to black tie. From the Parade of Lights to New Year's Eve, we have the perfect outfit for every event this year. Scout Molly's, Annapolis Town Center. Thank you for shopping local.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMD VA weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMD VA weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMD VA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Thursday, December 22nd. Not a bad day yesterday across the Annapolis region as we hit the winter solstice in the afternoon, but changes kick in today with big changes ahead tomorrow through the weekend. Look for highs around 50 degrees today with rain expected, maybe moderate to heavy at times with a flood watch in place for late this morning into very early Friday morning. And then it gets real interesting starting tomorrow as a very strong Arctic cold front moves through the region in the AM hours to early PM hours, causing temperatures to drop from what now looks like maybe the mid to upper 40s or even around 50 degrees in spots in the early AM hours to the 20s by around 3 or 4 p.m., with winds gusting 40 to maybe 50 miles per hour at times, all of which could potentially turn a little rain to a little snow or some snow flurries or showers for a brief period on the back end of all of the precipitation, but there should not be much to worry about there in terms of impact on travel except for the wind. And that wind, along with very cold air temps dropping into the 9 to 16 degree range for AM lows on Saturday, will create even colder wind chill temps very late Friday night and Saturday morning in the range of minus 10 degrees to maybe 5 degrees above zero. And from there, it'll stay breezy all weekend with highs Christmas Eve Saturday only in the low to mid 20s, with maybe mid to upper 20s on Sunday for Christmas Day, which could potentially go down as the coldest Christmas day this century, with 2000 having a Christmas Day high temp in the upper 20s, and maybe possibly the coldest Christmas for the region since a very frigid December 25th, 1983. So be sure to bring in anything from outside that could blow around on Friday. Double check all inflatable decorations to make sure they're tied down, and bundle up starting tomorrow through the weekend, knowing that the big freeze won't last too long, as the expectation is for temperatures to return to the 50s at the end of the month into early January. Okay, that's it for today and this week. Due to the upcoming holiday, though, you'll want to keep an eye out for potential updates over the weekend if necessary with the incoming weather. This is George Young of DCMD VA Weather. Make it a great day out there today. Best wishes for a very Merry Christmas, and definitely do all you can to stay healthy and be safe, especially in these very cold conditions ahead of us. And as always, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for regular updates each day, along with our website at dcmdvaweather.info, and be sure to download our DCMD VA Weather app on all of your devices from either the Apple or Google App Stores, so you can always stay weather informed.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Have you been looking for ways to save money recently? Maybe you should consider solar energy for your home. Or are you waiting for the technology to get cheaper? If so, how long are you going to wait? Today's solar costs less than 20% of what it cost 10 years ago. But while solar prices have declined every year, so have the financial incentives. Bottom line, if you wait for cheaper solar, you're also waiting for lower incentives. Take my home, for example. My solar system was installed in 2010, and it's been paid off for almost 5 years, and I no longer have to buy any electricity for another 15 to 20 years. If I waited for cheaper solar, I'd still be paying an electric bill. At Solar Energy Services, we have thousands of satisfied customers who are sure glad they didn't wait. So what are you waiting for? Sunshine's a wasted. Call us today for a free solar design at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
Every week, makers, crafters, and educators hold events all over the area. Highlighting some of those, here's our Maker Minutes, brought to you by Annapolis Makerspace.
Hey, this is Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes. At Knits and Pieces off of Bestgate Road, registration is open for classes coming up in January and February, and a few more further out. Classes involving socks, sweaters, pillows, as well as techniques classes for different patterns, fixing your mistakes, and more. Class sizes are limited and tend to fill up fairly fast, so register soon. At Art Farm in Annapolis, registration is open for their kids' art, winter and spring classes, with programs like Kids Art School, beat making, cartooning, digital illustration, fashion design illustration, zodiac art, experimental art, found poetry, and short story writing. At the Anne Arundel County Public Library System this week, today Broadneck has a draw-along story time with Harold and the Purple Crayon. Tuesday, Edgewater has Little Artists, both a babies and toddlers session, as well as a preschool session. Then on Wednesday, Bush Annapolis Library has Makerspace open hours. And at Unallocated Space in Severn, tonight they have a virtual happy hour. Tomorrow they have their DEF CON 443 cybersecurity meetup, dealing with InfoSec, software-defined radio, capture the flag, ham radio, lockpicking, and a little bit of everything that involves security, cyber or otherwise. Monday is their project night, and Tuesday their electronics fundamentals class continues. Then on Wednesday is their weekly open house. Things are pretty light this week for the holidays, but there'll be lots more to do in the new year. In the meantime, if you have any questions about the Annapolis Makerspace, the Maker Minutes, or any of these events, feel free to contact me at trevor@makeannapolis.org. And you can find links to all of these events at the Annapolis Makerspace website, also at makeannapolis.org. And whether you're making art, software, sawdust, or just a mess, chances are you're already a maker. This has been Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minute.
The benefits of a good night's sleep are well documented. Sleeping well prevents weight gain, improves concentration and creativity, and boosts the immune system. So, what keeps you up at night? If you run a business, then the security of your computer network may be one of those things. Threats like ransomware and phishing are becoming increasingly sophisticated and pose a real risk to any business. Don't let these cyber threats keep you up at night. At Alpha, they've been helping their customers sleep better for over 30 years by monitoring in real time and hardening network defenses. And for those irritating IT issues that arise every day, Alpha's just a phone call away, helping your business run smoothly and helping you sleep better knowing Alpha is on guard. Give Alpha a call to see if they can ease your worries and help you get the rest you deserve. Find them at alphagetsit.com.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.